Hello and welcome to ADHD Awareness Month. It is now week 3 and I'm Stephanie from Empower ADHD and Ascend ADHD, and today I've got with me Sharon Bonham from the Creative Desk, and today we're going to be talking about delegation without disaster. So yes, there's a lot to be said about this topic, and very lucky to have Sharon, who is very experienced with supporting ADHDers like myself, business owners with ADHD, probably getting very much in their own way and needing someone like Sharon to keep them out of the way and stopping the bottlenecks. So welcome, Sharon.
Hi everyone. It's good to be here.
Yes. So, Sharon, you've got the delight of supporting neurodiverse employees and business owners to help them, I guess, do the things that they struggle to do, don't like to do, forget what they do. Yeah. What's it like, Sharon, honestly? What's it like working with the neurodiverse?
Well, no day is the same, which is, I quite like that. But I think there's a lot of things. I think the greatest thing is that you really need to have empathy and an understanding of why certain things are done, or the different behaviors. And I think that's been really great for me. It's made me realize that there's always something behind something. So you can't take something at face value. You have to see why it's there. And I've had to get a really good understanding of neurodiversity, and in that find out that I'm myself. So that has helped, just in learning more about it, and how to work with neurodiverse clients and also create something around my life that is helpful. So I think for me, it's a lot of listening and a lot of reading between the lines.
Patience, a lot of patience.
Yeah, patience, and also developing and building trust, especially when it comes to delegation, because as you know, a lot of ADHD, they can't let go. It's, it's very scary, even if it's something that they're overwhelmed and that, but it's something that's familiar. So to actually hand it over to someone else, it's a very difficult thing to do. So I think building relationship, building trust, and just understanding where that person's coming from is definitely a skill that I've had to use more than in the traditional kind of PA, VA, OBM sense, and helping that way. I find I use that a lot more. Just being a safe space is sometimes more important than getting that email right, So yeah. But it is, I love it. I love being I'm not in the most exciting profession, and as a creative person myself, I just love that I'm doing something creative. It may not be in painting or something, but I'm being creative in somebody else's life and actually being, pivotal in helping them have a life when it comes to their business and that. And I think, at the end of the day, when I sign off, I just feel like I've done something useful with my day, which is great for me, but hopefully for my clients as well. So
no, I can vouch for that latter part in terms of doing great things, for your clients, and because it is so many of the things that business owners, employees have to do, the admin aspects in particular. It's not something that we as ADHDers really prioritize at all. We struggle to do, many reasons why, obviously lack of authentic interest, but there are some ADHDers. Some ADHDs, they struggle with forms because they interpret every question, there's like so many interpretations, and then they're so scared they'll get it wrong that they just get paralyzed, and so they don't do the form. And that has major repercussions, unfortunately. So that's where, you and other PAs can come in and help, obviously, overcome these barriers.
I like to think that it's almost like we're helping, especially when it comes to things like executive function, that we're actually building a scaffolding around that person. So again, it's interdependence. And I know you often speak about that, Steph. And just that you're building a structure around that person for them to actually be the best that they can be at the things that they love to do. Because as you know, if it's boring or something that's not igniting something inside, it can be left behind, and left, and then that creates massive overwhelm. So if you've got somebody that's on target doing it for you and sending your reminders and that, it definitely helps, you do what you want to do rather than the things that keep you from that. And that's what we're trying to do with our clients. Yep.
Yeah, you're like the executive function filler for ADHDs in particular with,
yes.
Yeah, we struggle with time blindness. We struggle with forgetfulness.
Yeah.
So, yeah, remembering that, we said we'll meet that person this time. We forget to put it in the calendar sometimes. And it's great to have someone like you guys being able to remind us, be able to put it in there. And I found in particular, protecting like boundaries as well. We spoke earlier this week about how important boundaries are to build businesses, and we both know, given that you assisted me, but you were able to carve out time in my calendar, and make sure that I had spaces. You were able to help me adjust my expectations, help me see the picture when I optimistically was like, yeah, I can do it. No, Sharon, it's fine. We're going to do this. It's good. And then that, and you're like, Stephanie, do you really feel that, once you've done that, and then is that a good idea? Or should, you're going to do the high school and university success programs. You want to do them both at the same time. I still remember that conversation.
Yeah.
Actually, so you guys provide the much needed pause.
And yes, and I think that's what delegation definitely helps with, prevents burnout.
Yeah.
Because, I know myself, I have to put boundaries in for myself because I could literally just keep going and forget to eat and forget to do anything, and then kind of look up and it's 10 o'clock at night. But so it definitely helps prevent burnout, having that person there, and that voice, kind voice saying, I think maybe you need a bit of space. Or I know if some of my clients, I just put it in their diary, because I'd rather just be there than try and convince them to do it. But if they've got that space already built in, it's quite interesting that they'll take that time, they'll take that space if it's there. Yeah.
And another thing we say a lot in ADHD coaching, we do things for others that we can't do for ourselves, and so
definitely.
So having a PA, like I know, for instance, there are things that I'd want to do that I'd communicate with you. And that body doubling, that accountability then was there because you may have then started on the thing that I've already moved on to the next thing. They're like, oh yeah, no, that thing, that's old news. I'm now doing this. But then you're like, so Steph, so I did the such and such. Okay, so what now on that thing? And I can't, it forces me to follow through. It's like, okay, look at that. And then, and so you keep, the ADHD on that path to complete with. Otherwise, and I know through coaching so many ADHDers, there's just this massive frustration, dissatisfaction that we haven't achieved anything. And so what you guys do is you provide that accountability for us to be able to get across the line, which is huge.
Well, I think body doubling is definitely something most of my clients really value. And I mean, what I normally do is I'll go with 3 things and say, which one do you want to do? Because again, you don't want to give them this massive task list, or a lot of them come with a massive task list. And that's just overwhelming in itself because you're not going to do that all in one day. So, but just to spend some time with somebody and get something done, it's just, I see the value in it and just the sense of relief that clients got at the end of that they've actually done something, or even maybe more than one thing, but that's done off the list. It's a great thing. I really enjoy that, seeing that, like, I've done it, that sense of that they've done something, they've moved forward. And
we're not good alone. Us ADHD is not good alone. We get in our own way, and ADHD is a deficit of momentum. So I definitely feel that PAs, what you do, it's a key part in helping us gain momentum, stay in momentum, and get across the finish line. So I was going to ask, is there any, in terms of delegation, because a lot, as you were saying, you're right, some ADHDs struggle to delegate because of the perfectionism, right? They really set very high standards. No one can do it like me, and if I do, I'm just going to have to do it all over again. And quite often they've had experiences because they've delegated, not very well, but they didn't realize at the time really badly, but they delegated and then they don't get the result they want. And then that's it. I've got evidence now. I'm not going to delegate anything. No one can do it like I can. It doesn't work. Delegation doesn't work for me. But they haven't realized that actually it was because they didn't delegate very effectively. So what tips would you give to ADHDers? How can they, delegate in a way that they'll most likely get the outcome that they were looking for?
I think it does vary from person to person. That's why I think definitely building a relationship and a bit of a trust level is great. But I would say start with something small. It doesn't mean you've got to now give your whole business over to someone to control and run for you. You're still the business owner. You're still the entrepreneur. It's your baby. We're just there to maybe change the nappy, and make sure it's getting fed and everything while you're doing all the fun stuff. So I think, but just start small, and find the thing that you're regularly doing that's causing you the frustration or the overwhelm. So if it's your emails, hand over your emails. And if you're really concerned about it, just the inbox, you sort it, and then, let us work on that way, work that, and you can see the results and then a little bit more, but you don't hand everything over at once. And then I think communicate. I do have some clients that I know when maybe there's stuff going on because they just go silent, but then I'll communicate, I'll check in, I'll try, and see where they're at. And sometimes I have to ask, what is overall, and this is what we can do for you. I think for us, it's all about translating chaos into calm. So it's where is your chaos? What is it that you're struggling with? And let us start small. I think that is the biggest thing, is just you don't have to give, it's not like you're not ever going to have control, I think the other thing is that we normally investigate what systems you're using. Usually it's none or it's too many, I myself, anything that glitters, I want it. So that's where I've had to set my boundary. But we'll look at the systems that you're using. If there isn't anything, there's something easier that we can put in place. So I think, how you communicate, do you prefer emails, WhatsApp? I find a lot of my clients prefer to use WhatsApp. It's quick. It's the answer straight away. I think also we offer bespoke support because no person is the same. I listen to where your problems are, where your issues are, where you're struggling, and then work around that for you, because everybody's different. And I think there's so many entrepreneurs out there that have got the incredible vision and ideas, and it's just doesn't stop. And we don't want to stop that. That's why they are entrepreneurs. That's why they are doing what they're doing. So it's to not take away from that, but the little bit, the nitty gritty, the engine part is what, we will try and help and assist with. And that's what you need to delegate, not your ideas and not your love of your business, So and I think that's sometimes what's difficult to let go. So just start small, just think of one thing that could help you and hand that over, and work through that. And then that builds trust at the same time. It builds a relationship at the same time, and hopefully will give you the time and space to do the things you want to do and go, aha moment, this is actually working. Let me do what I want to do,
Yeah. And I think on that, it's that black or white thinking that, got to be aware of in terms of, like with coaching, same thing, it's a process. You got to test and measure, right? And failure is actually a good thing, because then it's a process of elimination. No, that's not the way, or that's not what I wanted. And the more you do that, the more everyone gets clear on what you do want and what it does look like. So I think it's about very much adjusting those expectations and expecting. We're not going to get it right first go. That's impossible. But it is a process, and you've got to invest in the process to actually and stick with it too. Because, and this is the other problem with ADHD, is that I don't have the time. I just don't have the time to spend, getting this right with this person. However, you add up all the time that they will take doing the thing that they haven't delegated, and it just like it is not worth it. Like it's just
absolutely
not worth coming up that space and investing the time and the effort. And I've got clients that have done that, and it's been absolutely life-changing for them. Absolutely, by doing that.
I always tell my clients the first month, sometimes even the first 3 months, is hard. I'm not going to lie, it is, because it's changing the way you think, the way you do things. You entrusting someone else with something. There's other people coming into your life you don't know, and a very important part of your life, your business or your work. You know, it's that's where we spend a lot of our time. So I think it's just for me, I try and take note of that. So I always say, like, the first 3 months is a bit of hard work, you know, because you adjusting and we creating systems and we putting things in place. So that is, I always try and preempt that and soften that blow in a sense. But once you get through that first month, it's amazing. You just sail, do the things you want to do. You're loving what you're doing again, because you're not being overwhelmed by the stuff you don't want to do or don't want to think about or put off or procrastinate around, you know. So definitely worth investing that time. And we're here to encourage you, you know. Like I said, if somebody's gone quiet or we haven't heard from them for a while, we'll always check in. We'll see where they're at, what are the issues, try and preempt a lot of that so they don't even have to think of the issue. We're like, we've noticed this, we've put this in place, this is how it works, fantastic, you know. So we do try and preempt a lot of stuff as well, so there isn't another thought process that you're having to try and have.
It's a must-have, guys. If you are a business owner with ADHD, yes, you definitely, and I keep doing this in coaching too, please get an admin assistant. And Creative Desk are fantastic. Sharon is a godsend. So do get in touch with Creative Desk. Same if you're an employee, and if you can get that admin assistance, again, I'd be pushing your employer. There are recent tribunal decisions, people, where the judges do say that you know, because of the executive function challenges that ADHDers have, in addition to ADHD coaching, a personal assistant is needed. So something to be mindful of, and making sure that you are providing the reasonable adjustments that you should be under law. But also, guys, absolutely independent of that, in terms of business and what makes business sense, in terms of productivity, in terms of freeing up your employee to do what they do best.
Absolutely.
I don't want to get an assistant for them. So that's definitely get in touch. So we're going to put the Creative Desk details in the comments down here. So get in touch with Creative Desk. And thank you, Sharon.
It's a pleasure.
Always is. And we'll chat soon. But thank you for listening. And
thank you.
Get support.
Bye.
Get in touch. Bye.
Bye.